just went to go get cleaned up and ready for the evening to go to some dinner with some friends. And on the way out, lo and behold, we looked across the way and there was a lot of smoke. Walked up to the scene where there was quite a few people, hanging out in the vicinity, looking up at a building that had a lot of smoke and fire coming out. And of course, I got to the scene, me asking them, hey, is there any screaming or yelling coming out of the building? And their response was no. And I was like, well, that's a good sign. There's a building that's on fire, smoke everywhere, and there's no yelling. So hopefully everybody made it out all right. A group of us ran towards the building. I got to the side of the building, and I looked up at that point, looking up at this woman hanging out the window. So at that point, we knew that there was no throwing the baby out the window and us catching her from 5 stories. That wasn't going to happen. So another individual and myself had a brief dialogue. It felt like it was forever, but it was quite quick. It was like, oh my God, what are we going to do? There's no way that she's going to be able to jump. So then the blanket came into play. And from the blanket shop to the wall, people were just swarming around the blanket to assist. We finally got back to the wall, and I just remember looking up at this woman, begging and pleading her, just, ma'am, you gotta throw your baby, you gotta throw your baby, you're gonna, please, you gotta throw your baby. And everybody's just screaming, and next thing you know, she threw her baby. And the baby hit the blanket, bounced briefly, just a little bit off of the blanket, and fell forward. And then I wound up getting her from the ground and picking her up and running her through the crowd to get her to a safe area. The mother was holding her and not letting her go, and her legs were just dwindling. She had a hard time letting the last one go, and I just remember looking up and she's screaming at her baby, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then that woman was brave. And I don't know if there's a lot of us can sit there and have the courage and being brave enough to be able to throw your babies out that window. I'm not so sure. It makes it tough, and that's what makes it the most emotional for me. There's nothing more significant in being in a situation like that when a vast group and a variety of people come together for a common goal. And as much as this is going to be hard for a lot of people to get over and get through, we know one thing, that all those people lived, and maybe there was a few minor injuries that came out of it, but it could have certainly been a whole lot worse. And thank goodness that wasn't the case, and it was because of people coming together and making things happen, and the outcome was positive.